Good morning. I was just saying how right on cue pregnancy burps show up, which have been horrible this pregnancy. They've been embarrassing, to be honest. I think it's one of the worst side effects of pregnancy has been this time around. It's been like I just walk around belching all the time. Like,
telling you this
pregnancy life.
Different pregnancy.
It's been very different, but I'm trying not to set my hopes on it because last
Sometimes
time
you
I
just
was
have a very
convinced it
different
was a boy, and it was
Yeah.
a girl. December 18th, guys. Fingers crossed we find out.
Oh, I was like, wait,
Boy or
what?
girl?
Oh, we were talking
And we're in December, so we're on the countdown. So good morning. We're the Rustic girls, Patty and Katie. Here, Katie, Patty. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning.
I should have drank more coffee before we started our live because I'm really struggling. We co-own Rustic Redemption here in Granite Falls, Washington, as well as we are getting ready to, this month actually is when it opens, but in January we'll be launching the Barn Loft, which is an online community, membership community for women, that we're super excited about. There's going to be tutorials and encouragement and teachings, and so it's really an opportunity for women to connect and to grow together and learn new things. And really we're going to help for those who don't feel like you know how to decorate their homes or create that continuity, that home decor continuity that just is so inviting. We're going to share what we've learned through the years, and it's going to be great. So we're excited for that.
And I think it's an opportunity. I just was really thinking about this last week, talking to someone who potentially is going to be one of our guest teachers, and thinking and it's something that's out of my comfort zone, but it's something I've always been intrigued by. And I think the cool thing is there's a lot of creative things that I would never go sign up for a class. I did do a couple classes, and I just felt stupid.
Way beyond my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Lovey.
And so being able to, from the comfort of your own home, to try out some different creative things that are stretching yourself, and you're not feeling like you're out on that platform of there's
everybody else
15 other people in the class, and there's a time and a place, and I think I don't want to discourage that. Going
Workshops
to a
are
class,
good.
yeah,
But
workshops
in
and
the
classes
comfort of your home, you can learn.
But yeah,
it'll be fun. I'm excited. Yeah. So that's coming, and we're very excited about that. So if you haven't signed up for the waitlist on rusticgirls.com, you should do it, because anyone who gets on our beta launch, which is this launch here, this is our initial,
AKA our guinea pigs.
Anyone who signs up to be our guinea pigs, it's true. Kind of learn with us as we kind of grow and just like figure out
navigate
all the kinks
all
and,
this stuff.
You're going to get a much lower rate. We're going to open it for a period to join for the beta launch. Then it will close for probably about a 4-month period, something like that, until we feel like we're ready. And then we'll open it again, and it'll be more expensive. So definitely get on the wait list. It's going to be a lot of fun. So here we are this morning. It is December 1st. And I've got heartburn. I'm
excited. And terrified at the same time. It's like
countdown is here for Christmas.
Countdown, and it's TikTok. It's gonna go fast.
Yeah.
So
yeah, here we are. I'm not even. I don't know. I'm not nearly done with my Christmas shopping, but with my husband's work situation, he got a job. So thank you everyone who's praying and encouraging us. He did get a job for the city of Mukilteo. But the way their paycheck system falls, he's actually not going to get a paycheck until the end of December. So it's not really in time for Christmas, which kind of simplifies when your budget's like, $25. It really is like, all right, well, we're buying for our kids and that's it. And okay, well, I guess we're done. So, there's a lot of projects I want to do to kind of fill in. And thankfully I went shopping earlier in the year. So we do have some gifts, but it kind of takes some of that pressure off. Because I'm like, well,
you don't have it. You don't have it.
You can't spend money you don't have. So it simplifies it for me. But yeah, it's crazy how close it's getting.
It's crazy close. It seems like it's kind of holding back, from our position, because we're bringing all the Christmas in, and we're all thinking about it and moving on it, long before Thanksgiving. but it's like, so it's that hold back, and then it's like Thanksgiving, and it's like, okay, now we can do everything all Christmas, and then it's like, boom, it's like a rocket. So busy.
I shared the other day about the Advent calendars I did this year, and I'm curious if you guys do Advent calendars. We did them growing up, but we didn't do like a lot of people. I was talking to a gal at the store the other day when I was buying trinkets for the calendar, and she said growing up she had just, you buy the things with the chocolate you pop out. And her mom did that a couple years, but she just gave it to them and she'd pop out all the chocolates day one. And we never had those growing up. All we had was like growing up, looking back, we got ripped off. Like, man, the thing about being homeschooled is you don't know what you're missing. I mean, in some ways you're missing bad stuff, so it's great. But all it was moving something.
It was a
little mouse that moves from day to day.
But
and we fought over whose turn it was to move that mouse. Like, legit. Like, this was the highlight of our day. And like, now that I'm grown, I'm like, wait a minute, people get like gifts and chocolates, and like, they were getting something every day. You taught us the simple joy of moving a mouse.
Well, we didn't really do the Advent thing so much, but we did a lot of other things.
Oh yeah, no, we did a lot of stuff.
We got new Christmas books. I have a whole...
Oh yeah, we did a lot of stuff. We just didn't do the Advent calendar. It's true. I should highlight, my mom gave me a wonderful childhood. I loved Christmas.
My jaw was like dropping. Like, what? What is this?
I loved Christmas. We always had great Christmases growing up, and you're a great mom. I had a great life. But as far as Advent calendars go, it was pretty basic.
My halo here.
Yeah. So I got on Pinterest this year because I wanted to do something for kids, and oh my goodness, there are so many ideas. So we landed on, I have a log my husband found at a beach when we were dating that he fell in love with. And eventually it's going to hang in our room, but right now it has no purpose. And so I hung it up, and we suspended paper bags. And if you see the picture, they're actually Rustic Redemption bags, because I couldn't find ones that weren't already stamped. And I was like, oh, well, I advertise in my own home for my business. So today I got to open the first gift, and we had the meltdown because we decided we were going to go from oldest to youngest to who gets the turn with the Advent calendar. One bag, they open it, and we did a card inside. It's kind of Christmassy, and on the inside it has a Bible verse and kind of a couple questions. Kind of start talking about the conversations about Christmas. And it has whatever Christmas activity, which BTW is a lot of pressure. I was trying to do something new every day, and like some of them are really simple, so it's not like, crazy stuff. Today they're going to a Christmas parade. I won't get to be there for that one, but most of them we try to do it something we could do as a family. So it's like a Christmas sing and dance party, or hot cocoa for dessert, or sometimes it's going and doing some different things, some bigger stuff. But today was the Christmas parade, and they're really excited. And then they each got I have the remnant of red on my hand. They each got little stampers, which Lorelai immediately stamped every paper she could find. And Violet immediately stamped her entire body. And Addie threw down the stamper, found the open bag of crackers, and was eating on my bed. There's my kids for you.
That is your kids
in a nutshell. Yeah, Violet was really mad because she didn't get to open it. And we're like, you can open tomorrow. So that was our Advent calendar, and so far so good. But yeah, I started repeating like hot cocoa for dessert and stuff because it's hard to come up with 24 different ideas.
Well, I don't think you're going to get any complaints.
Yeah, they're not going to care.
It'll be, as they get older, there'll be a lot of different other options and things. And
I know a friend who's doing
and they're little enough, they're not going to critique that. Wait a minute,
this is not an original idea, Mom. They'll just wait till they're 20, 28, 29, and they'll tell you on live on Facebook how you failed as a child.
You'll be sideswiped by.
No, so it's good. I have a friend who's doing basically random acts of kindness, and they're doing different things like going to soup kitchens and stuff like that. And I think it's really fun. I looked at those, a lot of those ideas, it just felt like an 18-month-old to a 5-year-old. But that age range was not very conducive to a lot of those activities to be safe and to actually be helpful, not just be in the way. So I'm looking forward to, as they transition and get older, there's a lot of those things we can do that's more like instead of it just being about what can I get and what can I do that's fun, about what can I give and what can I share. So it'll be good. But this morning we want to talk about, man, I apologize. It has been a rough, I think this baby's growing double time. And so it is wearing me out. It's like always tight and hurting. But this morning we were going to talk about just, there's so much in the lines of giving this time of year and sharing. Plain hot cocoa for the first time, then cook with marshmallows. That's genius. So every time it gets even better. Then they look forward to when it repeats.
What
Look
else
at
would
you.
add? Sprinkles.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea, Elizabeth. I'm gonna do that. But yeah, this morning we're talking about there's so many opportunities to give this time of year. Our town has a hardware store is doing not a backpack,
coat drive for the
coat
men's
drive
shelter.
for the men's shelter. A couple different places are doing extra drives for the food bank. The Christmas festival, the tree lighting festival today, they're collecting diapers for
It's for the
Crossroads High School,
daycare.
the alternative high school's daycare. There's the fire department does the toy drive, and so there's gift trees around town with tags. We have a friend this morning who's doing her own fundraiser for collecting toys for the fire department to pass out for the gift drive. So there's a ton. There's a lot of ways to give and support. But we are thinking just in lines of, I mean, it's great to do those things, and we are not saying don't. We support them ourselves, and they're really wonderful ways to come together as a community, but you kind of miss out on the best part of giving. The most rewarding part, to be selfish, honestly. Oh my goodness, I'm drowning in heartburn. I don't know if any other pregnant women have, but heartburn is my worst, outside of belching, heartburn is my worst pregnancy symptom. But you miss out on the best part. The most rewarding part is seeing that face light up and that life be impacted. And I think that really refuels you to do more. So it's selfish, but it's not selfish. And you kind of miss out on that when you just drop a coat in a bin or food into a canned food drive bucket. Like, great ways to support important causes, but you miss out on the rewards yourself. And so that was kind of what our thought was this morning, is just talking about like the concepts of how can you find time and different ways that you can be intentional and thoughtful in the way that you give in the support of the season, so that you're getting the most out of it.
Well, and it's interesting because this morning I took a few moments while I was sitting on the heating pad, so I took a few moments, and one of my business mentors, I checked in with her, and she does a
Good morning, Liz. Did I say that right? I apologize if I didn't. Good morning.
She does an early morning coffee chat, and so I managed to like tune in for that, and she was talking about, she's doing the 30 days or whatever days of giving, and she was talking about her grandmother, and talking about focusing on the, it's coined, glass half empty, glass half full, focusing on the positive rather than negative, however you want to put it. But so her birthday is in like 2 days, and her several years ago, her grandmother died on her birthday, and
That's rough.
but she was a nurse, and she actually was there and got to be with her, so it was very bittersweet, and but she talked about choosing to, rather than, her grandmother was 93 years old when she died, and So she said, you know, rather than focusing on my loss, is, you know, it'd be easy to focus in on that this time each year. I promise I'm going somewhere with this.
I'm listening.
But instead, focusing on this woman got to be on this earth for 93 years. I got to have her in my life all those years. And she was one of those just a quiet example kind of women. She was, she loved Jesus. She just went about doing what she did quietly. She was the first one to bring a meal when someone had a new baby or someone died or, you know, someone had a need. She was, you know, she was the one to, you know, send cards to, and it was all those things that don't get noticed, but she just spent her life seeing the people that had a need or a way she could bless them, and she just quietly went and did it. And you know, and I think, sidebar, in this day and age, social media is, you know, it can be a great thing and it can be such a wicked, evil thing. And FYI, I think it's great if you're doing something, if you share it in a way to be an inspiration to other people. But getting on social media and bragging, I did this, for the homeless, or I did this. It's like you totally take away from it when you do that. That's just a little pet peeve of mine.
It was like a bumper sticker, or it was like a signboard. I think it might have been a signboard the other day when I was driving around, and it said basically, if you feed the homeless and you have to post it on social media, you're also feeding your ego too.
Yeah, exactly.
It's true. I think it's that, and I think that's one big way that like takes away from that reward. As much as it feels good to have people pat you on the back, I think it cheapens it a little bit in your heart and your mind. And so, you know, I think it's more fun to be either completely anonymous and be totally sneaky, or to just quietly serve and quietly do it.
Right. Which is, you know, I think, you know,
keep that reward to yourself. Keep that like Christmas spirit tucked inside you, and it's going to bubble over and affect those around you.
When you can do things, even, you know, and you bless other people when you can bring somebody in alongside you and say, I really want to bless this person, but I don't want them to know it's me. Can you help me? You know, can you deliver this, or can you, you know?
Oh yeah.
Getting to be a part of that you're, without realizing it. I mean, when I've been a part of that, it's like I've been so encouraged, and I'm like, oh, I want to do something more now.
It's like secret, and it makes it more fun. Yeah, and I think that like a lot of that comes with being intentional. You know, we talk about intentional, and as we're moving into, you know, winter is it's a lingering season. It's really a time to just slow down, I think, and be more intentional, and linger over that coffee with a friend, and don't be in such a rush. And so being intentional about allowing it to be a lingering season. You know, when you're at the grocery store and you're like, I got my list to get done and get home. I've got 40 different things I need to do. And you run into somebody you haven't seen in forever. And instead of just being like, how quick can I get through this conversation? Or can I avoid making eye contact to just avoid this conversation entirely? Taking that moment to pause and to just linger and be with them. And, you know, maybe that's the encouragement they need. And it helps you be more present. And I think being present is how you're going to have those opportunities to directly impact people, because you're going to start seeing people.
I was just going to say, I think being in that lingering mindset, like you said, I was thinking beyond running into somebody you know, is when you're not focused and frazzled and trying to get out the door, when you're like lingering and you're taking the time to take in your surroundings while you're standing in line, and you see that mama struggling with 3 kids, trying to keep them corralled while she's trying to get through the line and get her groceries up. It's an opportunity to help her, you know, in some way, even if it's just, you know, I can help you put your groceries up if you don't mind, or noticing the person in line in front of you, that they're having to put some things back because
they don't have enough
money, and it's like,
You can just be like, I'm going to pay
and
for
that's
that.
when you
If
hear
you
the
have
Lord
the money
speak. Is when we're quiet and we're in that
listening.
lingering mindset.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we're going to hear the Lord speak to our heart and say,
"This is your job. This one's for you. I saved this one for you."
So,
I think it's true. And I also think that there's some really great ideas, and I know you guys can help me brainstorm on what are some ways to be prepared to be intentional. Because be prepared to be present, because it doesn't always just happen. And there's not always going to be that perfect moment that you're going to have what you need. Just you happen to have it. But I was thinking, like you said that you see a mom at the grocery store struggling with her kids. I've been that mom. I'm going to be that mom as my husband goes back to work and I have to grocery shop by myself again. And I think, if you talk, like, go to the dollar store and they have, like, dumb little toys, and you know that in 10 minutes the kid's going to be over that, because it doesn't matter if you spend $100 on the toy or $1 on the toy. In 10 minutes the kid's going to have moved on to the box.
Or in a waiting room, when you rescue kids.
And so maybe you go to the dollar store and buy a couple of those, just little trinket toys you keep in your purse, so that next time someone's in line and you notice she's struggling going through the grocery store or wherever, you can be like, I've got a couple of Christmas gifts. Can I give them to your kids? They'll keep them busy and mama can focus on what she's got to get done. It's a quick and easy way, because, especially, I think more and more you hear, and I'm not saying don't offer to help people at all, but as a mom, I can tell you more and more stories of, especially at grocery stores and stores like Walmart and Target, people feeling like they're being followed through a store, being followed to their car. You start to get really kind of paranoid, because I feel like the stranger danger is starting to become a real thing with the human trafficking problem. And so I may be hesitant to let you help me with my kids.
Right.
But if you walked up and you were just wanting to give them a little trinket, I would be more open to that. Like, okay, and then you're going to go away, and I can move on to what I'm doing, because I don't have to worry about, are you potentially a predator that I need to protect my kids? So, I think even just having something like that prepared might be a good option. But some of it's more planning. My friend for Thanksgiving, she intentionally makes extra food, and they make plates. And so it's plates of hot, fresh made Thanksgiving food. They wrap it up with silverware and a napkin, and they go around and they find the homeless people who are sitting somewhere, who don't have family or friends or even a shelter to go to find a free meal. And they give them a hot, they hand deliver them a hot Thanksgiving meal. And so that's forethought and planning. So sometimes it means plan ahead and be really intentional. And sometimes it means just being aware.
There's also the, this is such a big topic we've kind of gotten into, but there's also, they're called blessings bags. They've kind of circulated around for a lot of years, but just having a Ziploc bag with, and it can be whatever, just little, basic essentials, a snack, little things like that. Maybe a card to go get a coffee. Right. It's not usually a wise idea to just put cash and give that out.
I do feel like, on the note of blessing bags, if you're doing this directed specifically at homeless people, there's some really good, if you just search the internet a little bit on what are good things to put in it, because sometimes you put things in, like, and they have, you put something in it, but a lot of them have, like, dental problems, and you put something that's really chewy and hard to eat in it, and then they, sorry, we're just...
Yeah, there's lists out there that are specifically kind of geared. People have put some thought, people that have a good idea of what to put in. And, there's also the people that are, we're talking about, strangers and other being aware, but there's also the people that serve in our lives. Sometimes there's the obvious ones, your kid's teacher, you're going to do something for your kid's teacher. But, how about the custodian at your kid's school? Or, when you pause and think, how about the cashier at the grocery store that always remembers your name or always, I don't know. There's so many people out there that we don't always think to put on our gift list.
Right.
But this is a great time of year as we pause and we kind of linger and we take in our surroundings, which, by the way, if you can carry that mindset with you into the new year, that's even better. But there is so many ways that you can, and it doesn't have to be, buy them a gift card or go buy them a gift or, what about the bell ringer outside the store, buy them a coffee, just take them over a coffee or a hot cocoa. There's just lots of little ways that if you're paying attention, that you can impact and bless people, or even just a little note that say, hey, I see you here, maybe it's the stock voyage, or I don't know. Taking the time to write them a little note that I so appreciate you. Right. You can bless them.
I will. Good morning.
Immensely.
Do you love our little... I have blocked this guy like 3 times. It's driving me nuts.
Yeah, he's probably...
I'm trying to. Mom, can you reach up and press and hold and see if we can... Maybe it's not working because I'm on Facebook instead of on Pages Manager. Ugh. Joys of social media. You always get the... Oh. Hey, got him.
Bye.
Hopefully it worked this time. I've tried blocking him on my phone. That's why I got distracted there.
Happy December 1st.
I'm really hoping we get rid of him. Okay, so lost my train of thought because of this turkey butt. Being intentional.
Being intentional. Giving.
Giving. If it doesn't work, I'm going to go get your laptop and see if we can block on the laptop. Okay, focusing. So I'm curious what you guys do to kind of think intentionally and out of the box for giving this time of year, and how to be intentional about lingering and seeing people who maybe aren't seen and aren't valued or appreciated. And I think that, that's kind of what this emphasis was about, just the seeing the rewards you get by being present. It's kind of become a thing or a joke that Americans just throw money at a problem. And I think that there's a little bit of sincerity or truth behind it, only sense of it's easy sometimes. It's the easy thing to do is to just throw money or, donate something or drop some cash or drop some canned goods. And it's generous and it's wonderful and it's helpful, but it's the easier thing. But when you choose to get involved, I think you get so much more from it, and you get so much of a blessing from being a blessing. That it's worthwhile to take that time to be intentional. Even things like at the coffee stand, I was thinking about, if you go to a local coffee stand, it's not like Starbucks where they ring up 4 people behind you before you even get to the thing and you can pay for the car. But even being more creative, it's like I could leave $5 at the coffee stand and say the next person that comes through or whatever, or leave it up to the cashier, the barista. When somebody comes through, you feel like they need a pick-me-up. Tell them that somebody bought their cup of coffee and use this $5. And you're going to drive away smiling. Even in that sense, you're going to drive away smiling because you're being sneaky and you're being Christmassy and fun. And the barista, the person, the cashier, whoever involved is going to be smiling. You just made their day. You made your day. And you don't even get to see. So this one, you do miss out on that reward a little bit because somebody else's day is going to be made after you walk away.
Right.
So there's a lot of fun, different ways to do this. And you still, I just think when you're being more intentional about your giving and trying to get involved and be more personal with it, you end up walking away with a smile on your face. And
that again, that only happens when you slow yourself down enough to take it in. I was thinking about our community ornament exchange tree. We had a lady come in this week, and she unexpectedly brought in ornaments for each of us, which was super sweet.
Sweet.
And but then she brought in a couple ornaments for the tree, and she didn't want to take one, and she said, "You just make sure that someone that comes through that looks like they need to be blessed. You make sure you encourage them to get an ornament."
Very sweet.
And so I mean, there's just countless little ways. And by the way, you can carry that even a little bit further. We're going to have little. We've kind of encouraged people. We're going to go ahead and get some little cards out today, where you can attach a little tag to the back of your ornament or on your string.
Holidays.
That whatever little message, if you want to share a Bible verse, you want to say you are loved, or you know,
short because it's small.
Yeah,
it's not
a little,
novel,
just a
little encouragement.
Encouragement.
Will suggested that snowfall is a great opportunity to bless our neighbors by helping them shovel their driveways and walkways. Totally free and a great opportunity to connect.
Absolutely. I saw a picture the other day, and it took me a minute to process. It showed like kind of a, I think it's kind of a city, one of those, I forget what they call them, but it's kind of like a duplex. So it's like it's like almost shared steps go up to two different doors, right? Yeah. And one side is shoveled right to the line, and the other side is covered with snow, and it says, don't be the guy on the left.
The guy who'd shovel.
And I took me a second, and I'm like, oh. He shoveled his, but by golly, I'm not crossing that line and shoveling the neighbors too. Yeah. That's a huge one.
And even we had when we lived in Marysville, we had neighbors, and we had a shared chunk of lawn that was between the two houses. And every time my husband mowed, he mowed the entire thing because, quite honestly, it was just easier to do that, and it was just not that big of a deal. They didn't always get out to mow as often, and it felt maybe a little too presumptuous to walk over and mow their entire yard without talking to them first. People might be like, what are you doing here? But just to mow that stretch of lawn. But every time they mowed right down the middle. They never mowed our side. And it was fine. We weren't angry or, we didn't begrudge them. But it was just funny to us because my husband always was like, it's just easier to mow the whole thing. So I think even year round, there are ways to do exactly that, like Will's suggesting, of just going out of your way to just do a little bit more. If you're already out there doing the work, it's... And maybe you're not out shoveling your driveway, but you do have the opportunity to go shovel someone else's and encourage and bless. My dad always, our sidewalk out front in front of the shop, he always does rock salt, but rather than doing it directly in front of our shop, he always ends up going a little bit this way and a little bit that way, and he goes out into the parking area so that no one's slipping or falling. And so there's ways to be intentional and thoughtful about just being, and those ones you may never, the ones like that, you may never get a thank you may never get a, but it's still fun. It's still fun to just think about being outside of yourself and thinking about other people. And that's, so many different incredibly wise people, far wiser than I, have talked about the best way, if you're feeling the winter doldrums and you're feeling depressed and overwhelmed by your problems, the best way to cure that is not by focusing on your problems, is to focus on someone else's and help them. So I think that's huge. As huge as his belly.
Fun.
Oh man. What is shocking? So, really quick, if you haven't noticed our name change, we are transitioning. It was one of those things, I tend to be impulsive. You haven't learned that.
We've been talking about it.
We've been kind of talking about it, and Mom was like, I don't really know how to change your name on Facebook. Because as we've grown the Rustic Girl aspect of our following, we've had people who really want to follow Rustic Redemption, and they want to see more of what we're doing in the shop and what kind of things we have for sale and stuff like that. And that just kind of gets a little bit lost in all things that are encouraging and teaching and all things Rustic Girl. And so we felt like it's really kind of become time to kind of separate the two a little bit, so that those who want to really see just what's going on in the shop
customers, that's all they're interested in.
We have a page that's exclusively for that, and then having this page that's for our larger following of women and men and women and men and everyone else and that are following this side of things, the encouragement, the inspiration, the teaching. So we did switch, but Facebook has a hard time with change. And so you can't just go from like Rustic Redemption to the Rustic Girls. Facebook would be like, you're totally different. Even though we'll be doing the exact same thing on the Rustic Girls that we've been doing. So now we're the Rustic Redemption Girls. And in a few weeks, you'll see that change to just the Rustic Girls. And then we also have our Rustic Redemption page.
So we won't really be doing much of anything directly shop related on the Rustic Girls page.
Pretty much all that will be on the Rustic Redemption page.
Yeah.
So it'll be good. So that's where you're going to find out info. The Rustic Redemption page will be the workshops we're doing locally, the new items we have coming into the shop, any kind of fun stuff like that. That's going to be on the Rustic Redemption page. The Rustic Girl is going to be the teaching, the encouragement, the upliftment, the
projects,
the live tutorials.
Yeah.
This live, our coffee and conversation, this will all be over here. So that's kind of what's going on there.
But the shop page will be a place where you can check in, and when we have, sometimes we'll have shop related promotion things where you tag yourself and share, or like right now we have the mistletoe.
The mistletoe giveaway. Where
Right.
If you come in, you take a selfie under the mistletoe with pretty much anyone you want, and post it on the Rustic Redemption page or tag us on Instagram. On Instagram, we are at the Rustic Girls. That enters you in to win one of our amazingly soft blankets that we're kind of known for loving. So we've got fun stuff like that. That'll be on that page. So yeah, just so you kind of understand, and we'll keep kind of talking about that and kind of working through that transition through the end of the year. But that's kind of what's going on there. But yeah, I was dinking with the settings or something else, and I found where you can change your name, and I was like, I'm gonna try this, and then it worked. And then a couple hours later, it came through, and I was like, oh, I did a thing, by the way.
Right. Well, and we weren't, sometimes it can be quite a process, and you have to appeal it and everything else, and justify why you're changing your name. And apparently, this first phase was super easy. So, and so it was like, well, all right, here we go.
Today, just to cover real quick, we do have our kids workshop. So that is all day from 10 to 7. Any point you come in, we've got aprons for your kids to wear, ornaments to paint. We've got craft paints here. We've got our little can of brushes and tons of little colors. So, and there's all different shapes for the ornaments. We have some ornaments that are like a gift with a photo inside where you can put your picture. A lot of fun. We're really excited about this.
Totally free. And we've got
free
caramel corn cookies. Hot cider that I have yet to start.
We are collecting donations for the food bank. So if you want to bring non-perishable goods, go ahead and do that. That would be amazing. But you do not have to. We want everyone to be able to make an ornament and have fun. So it's going to be a good day.
It's going to be a long day, but a good day.
Very good. I'm helping the workshop, so that means I can come sit back at the craft table with my feet up and a cup of water in hand, because we went to an elf movie night at a local church where they did an elf dinner for $2, which was waffles and sausage and hash browns.
Did it have all the candy and stuff all on
No,
top?
but at the end you could have syrup, sprinkles, and powdered sugar if you want.
Oh.
And the kids got syrup and then sprinkles, and I was like, this is the only time you get to double your sugar on already what is just sugar for breakfast. Or in this case, dinner. And then they had hot cocoa or water to drink. And so, so we went to that, and then they had inflatables and games. It was a lot of fun. So we were there for about an hour and a half, where I didn't get to sit for most of it. So about an hour, but I wasn't sitting at all. Before the movie started, where we got to watch Elf, and the church had an upper level that they then closed off with a curtain and had a big screen, so it kind of felt like a movie theater, a small movie theater. And we watched Elf, which my kids, both Violet and Addie can't hold a seat down by themselves, so they were getting sandwiched. They had to sit together, and that didn't last. And so half the movie they're sitting in my lap, which, let's be real, there is no lap, so they're sitting on my baby. And so by the end of it, I was hurting so bad. And so I was like, this morning, I got myself a giant cup of this highly diluted cranberry juice water. Because it'll give me heartburn, but it's so yummy. And then put my feet up, which is possible because I get tired, but it'll be a good day.
And I am valiantly fighting whatever is trying to take a hold of me. Lots of thieves, sanitizer, and diffusing thieves, and all things thieves, and lots of fluids, trying to
vitamin C, all that
power through this season.
Yeah, it's almost wiped my husband out. He's been kind of, well, I won't shame him on social media. What I will say is he hasn't been feeling well, and he is a man who does not feel well. And anyone who has a husband or a significant other of any kind that's a man, you know what I'm saying. You know, because I don't think any man really handles being sick well. But, yeah, so I think we're at the back of the shop, so it's a little hard to see the clock, but I think we should probably wrap it up.
I feel like
it's getting there. So I hope you guys have a beautiful week. We will be back next week with more tutorials. I think we're even going to be doing 1 or 2 that are not just ornaments.
Right.
We'll do ones that are also other kinds of decor. So we're kind of, it's going to be a fun week. Lots of fun stuff going on.
Man flu is real.
It's real. Yes, and it is horrible. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's worse than pregnancy and labor combined.
Yeah.
They don't survive very well.
Death's door.
Yeah. There's so many things I could say, but I was like, I can't do it. I'm not going to shave my mind on social media. But we may have to have private conversations with our friends to sympathize. But
maybe a little later, Elizabeth.
Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be a good day. Going to be a good week. We hope you guys are enjoying your first day of December. I know there's a ton of stuff going on in a lot of communities, between parades and living nativity scenes and tree lightings. There's a ton of fun stuff going on.
Santa sightings are very real right now.
Somebody asked, is Santa in town this weekend? And we're like, well, at the tree lighting.
He's not at IGA till next week. I did verify that
IGA's
this morning.
next week. And then Jen cares. I'm like, he's kind of all over town.
Yeah.
I had to start having the conversation with the girls last night about how, sometimes it's not Santa, it's Santa's helper. Because Santa's working hard at the North Pole. So just be aware that, he's not in 20 places at once.
The man, the myth, the mystery.
Santa Claus. Yeah. So, of course, then I asked her, last night we went to see Santa really quick before we get off here. They took a picture of Santa, which I was super proud of because Lorelai did not want to do that. She was nervous. And I asked her, I said, is it Santa? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, did he smell like beef and cheese? She goes, no. I was like, did he sit on a throne of lies? She's like, no, because he was across the room. She goes, he sat on that chair. And I was like, oh, okay. Then it must have been really Santa. He's not everywhere, but he is in the North Pole working hard, Elizabeth. Don't worry.
Hi, Diane.
He's very real. Good morning, Dan. So yeah, it was funny. She didn't get my references. And it's funny because we get home and I asked the kids, what's your favorite part of the movie? And I was like, my favorite part was when like Santa and Buddy got in a fight and they're going around the store destroying it. And my kids just stare at me deadpan like,
what are you talking
And then
about?
Justin goes, my favorite part was when the raccoon attacked him. And the girls start laughing. They're like, that was my favorite part. So clearly I don't get child humor because my kids did not like my favorite part of the movie. Whatever. Daddy's their favorite, whatever. Good morning, Heidi. Yeah. That's it. I think we're good.
I think so.
I'm tired. I'm ready for a nap.
Look at this beautiful plate of cookies. I'm scared to pick it up, so I'm going to mess it up. I would have just tossed them on the plate, but Katie made it a work of art.
Yes.
So we got cookies and caramel corn. I've got to get that cider started because I forgot to do that earlier. So it'll be nice and
yummy.
Hot.
Yummy
hot,
goodies
hot.
to sip and shop in the kids' workshop. And we've got the kids' play space and we've got Mama's wish list. So yeah, tons of fun. I hope you guys have a beautiful Saturday.
Whatever you're doing and wherever you're at.
Be kind to each other, and we'll talk to you soon.
Soon.
I'm going to stand up with this ginormous belly and reach across the table.